What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. You are on Rise Up Unlimited Radio. Monday Night Madness. What's going on? Y'all know what time it is, man. We got sports talk coming up. I got to bring my guys in here too right now as we speak. I have from Texas, both Texases. I tell you, all my ache and pains is from Texas right now. All my aches and pains is from Texas.
You need to get you a girlfriend from Texas. That way you can sing "All My Exes Live in Texas." You like that?
Yeah.
All my exes live in Texas.
Nope. At this point, nope. I'm definitely gonna turn that down for sure. No girlfriends from Texas whatsoever. But let's be real. We got a great show coming for you guys. Right now, I have Marcus the Alphabets, Friday Night Lights, my guy. You know who he is. You know what he does. Mr. Militant himself. I should have nicknamed him Militant Marcus now. Militant Mike, Militant Mike, Militant Marcus over here. I'm gonna just let y'all know that we got a great show once again. And I also have Dalton D-Man Smith in the building. What's good, Dalton?
What's up, everyone? And hey, you know what time it is. And shout out to Josh Bailey for that.
Absolutely. Shout out to Green Bay Packers enthusiast, Josh Bailey. Funny guy, cool guy. Nevertheless, we will talk a little Green Bay Packers maybe during the show.
You mean the Slackers?
Yeah, the Slackers. The Green Bay Slackers. Nevertheless, I want to shout out where I am. The Apollo Media Center is where I usually be at, but I am at Wuffo Studios right now, getting ready for, tonight's show as well. Got to shout out some of the people who support the show, like Daddy-O's Pizza, My Asia's Fashion. Got to shout them out as well. Shout out to Angelita, Allen. Make sure y'all pray for them. People who make it possible for us to do this show on WDAP Radio and WDAP TV. Make sure you say a prayer for them as well. Rocco Raquelli will be on the show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He will be on the show. But we have some things to talk about. First and foremost, in NFL. We will talk NBA Finals. Trust me, we're going to get to all that juicy good stuff, but we first have to get into a couple of these NFL topics. And the first NFL topic of the day, folks, is this PFF list of coaches, top 10 coaches right now. I want to say this before anybody starts saying anything. Number one, PFF. You should never be allowed to make another damn list as long as you are a sports deity making any type of sports thoughts, creating sports thoughts, sports ideas, any sports, anything. I don't give a damn what it is. If it's related to sports, after this right here, you should not be allowed any longer to do it. Period. Point blank. The list is straight dumpster juice. And I think everybody got the list. So I'm going to tell you right off the jump, this list is terrible. Like and share the show. Get your mama's friends, cousins, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews. Get all of them to tune into this because this is about to get real. And we're going to have some debates today. I promise you we will. Now, Marcus, the Alphabets, and Dalton Smith. I know you guys have the list in front of your faces. I know I had the list. Talk about this list and let the people know who's on top of this list 1 through 10. All right. I'm gonna start off with Marcus. Go ahead, Marcus. Let us know.
So let me pull up this list. One thing, I posted up this list in the Alphabets football group.
Sure did.
How in the hell? What kind of bizarro world is it when Cliff Kingsbury, coach of the Arizona Cardinals, who hasn't won a damn thing, is in the top 5? Like I just don't understand it. And I'm gonna say something. You're usually the fire starter, but I'm gonna start a little bit of fire. Okay, Dre? I ain't gonna steal your nickname, but I'm gonna start a little bit of fire.
That's okay.
how we have to come to the realization, and I know it's going to piss off a lot of people, but it's a question that needs to be answered, Dre. Is Bill Belichick still the best coach in the NFL? I think that's a question that we need to start looking at. We have to like really examine. And look, when I always think when they come up with these they come up with these lists of coaches and stuff, is this a lifetime achievement award? When you start looking at Pro Bowls and All Pros and best, whoever the best is and on lists and stuff, is this a lifetime achievement award, or is
Marcus, even if this was a lifetime achievement award, this list is dumpster juice?
Well, I'm just saying. To me, the main thing though is Bill Belichick. Is Bill Belichick still the best coach in the NFL? And every time I see a list, he's always on the top. If Phil Jackson came back to coach right now in the NBA, would he be the best coach in the NBA? But you have to look at. I mean, it's kind of the same comparison, isn't it? Despite everything that Phil Jackson won, what has he got? 12 rings, 11 NBA championships. Okay, and I get that. But if he were coaching right now, if somebody said, take a team right now, Phil Jackson, and coach, would Phil Jackson be the best coach and I know he hasn't coached in a few years, but I'm just saying you have to start. There eventually comes a time with anything where there's a passing of the torch. We're like, okay, this guy here, is Tom Brady still the best quarterback in the NFL? We have to, and years ago it seemed blasphemous, but we have to start. We have to start asking those questions. Also, I get it all the time. I get it in my inboxes. I get it on my page, the Alpha Best Football Show page. Oh, the Buffalo Bills don't get any props. Listen, people, Sean McDermott deserves to be on this list. He's not even on this list at all. And there's 10 names on there. I get called, I got Teflon skin, Dre. I got Teflon skin. People call me the Buffalo Bills hater. I will give credit where credit is due. Sean McDermott is a top 10 coach in the NFL. Now, I don't know where people want to put him at, but a guy who But he deserves to be on this list. My coach, Mike McCarthy, is Mike McCarthy still I get he's got a Super Bowl, but is he still a top 10 coach? I don't know. So we have to start looking at people as what they are now, not how we remember them. I think that's the main thing that we have to go with.
Dalton Smith, what's your thoughts? I know you've seen the list.
I do got a problem on a list, and yes, I agree with Marcus about Cliff Kingsbury being on number 4. He doesn't go in the top 5 or 10 because he hasn't won anything. Another problem is, how is John Harbaugh still number 2? Do you think he's still a good coach after this whole won a Super Bowl? Make it make sense. It makes no sense. It's pathetic. And also, like Mark said, Sean McDermott should be on the list, in my opinion. Also, a coach should be on there is Zach Taylor, in my opinion. And I don't think.
Do you have the list up, Dre?
Yeah, I got the list right here. Y'all want to hear this list?
Yuri saying pull up the list. There's people in the comments.
Do y'all want to hear the list? The list is right here, folks. That's the list. If you can see my screen, that's the list. But I'm going to read it to you anyway. Okay. Number 1, Bill Belichick. Number 2, John Harbaugh. Number 3, Andy Reid. Number 4, Cliff Kingsbury. Number 5, Pete Carroll. Number 6, Matt LaFleur. Number 7, Kyle Shanahan. Number 8, Mike Vrabel. Number 9, Frank Wright. And number 10, Mike McCarthy.
And no Zach Taylor, no Sean McDermott. They should be on a list.
Now, by the way, I just want to put this out there right now. If y'all get on this show and start blasphemy talking, the blasphemous talking that I'm just waiting I'm waiting for somebody to try to support this crap. If y'all get on here and try to support this list, I'm telling you right now, not only am I going to go get the whole entire NCW squad to come wrestle you, beat you down, give you a little beat down, wrestle you, suplex you, stone cold stunner you out the ring. I'm gonna make sure that the fire starter really comes out of me today. Because I've been holding it in for a while. Marcus got the fire start before the show, and I've been the torch. And I'm trying to be the fire starter, but I don't want to let it out. And it's gonna come out today. If y'all get the blasphemy talking. I promise you. Number one, John Harbaugh is not number 2. I'm gonna start there.
How? I think we need to go to number 1. We keep giving this guy a pass, man. It's
I'm only starting with number 2 because legitimately number 1, I get Bill Belichick may not be number 1, but I can understand why anybody would put him as number 1. I understand why people would put him as number 1, but John Harbaugh number 2? Are you kidding me? That is the number 2.
You're not even the best coach in your division. Can we say that? You're not even the best coach in your division.
He's really not.
You're not better than Mike Tomlin.
He's the 3rd best in the division. Zach Taylor right now is better than him. Mike Tomlin is better than him. Let's stop playing games right now. Let's just keep it a whole entire brick here. He's not better than neither one of them. But here's
Stefanski can give him a little run for his money too. I like Stefanski.
Yeah, but here's the killer. Pete Carroll and Cliff Kingsbury is actually in the top 5. How? Wait a minute.
Are they ahead of Sean McVay?
No. I was about to mention him. Why is Sean McVay not on this list? Why is Zach Taylor not on this list?
Sean McVay, who's been to 2 Super Bowls in the past 3 years and won one. He's been in the Super Bowl the past 3 years. He lost one to the Patriots and then won this one. The Bengals. Yeah, I'm just saying he's been to 2 Super Bowls in the past 3 years, past 3 or 4 years. Won one, lost one. He's a young coach and might go to another one this year. The NFC's not as stacked as the AFC. When does this guy start getting his props? And it goes back to the original question. Is this list based off of Lifetime Achievement Award?
It can't be. It can't be. Not when you got Cliff Kingsbury on here. Not when you got Mike Vrabel on here. Not when you got Frank Wright on here. Not when you got Mike. Please, don't get me started. Listen, I'm going to tell you straight up. And we got Sam Slade on the line, by the way. Sam Slade, what's good, my brother?
How we doing tonight?
Man, we feeling good. We talking about top 10 coaches right now. PFF came out with this dumpster juice hazmat garbage disposal of a list and tried to sell it. And they tried to literally sell it.
Be under the birdcage floor. That's where it belongs.
Man, listen. This is just absolutely pitiful. It's pathetic. Like Dalton said, it's pathetic.
Pathetic.
Lifetime Achievement, you know who should be on there is Don Shula.
Yeah, but they're not going to put him on there. We're talking about active coaches right now. They're active coaches.
Okay. We know it's definitely not Lifetime Achievement, but
it can't be.
Someone got paid real good money to make that list, I think.
Yeah, somebody got paid some money to make this nonsense. I'm gonna be honest with you. Here's where 1, 2, and 3 comes in. So let's be clear. Let's examine this a little bit. Andy Reid is in number 1. See y'all? Andy Reid not number 1.
I'd say number 2.
Who's number 1?
Listen, I know this. I know I'm going to get roasted for this. I would have to say right now the hottest coach is Sean McVay. How are you not the defending NFL champion and you've been to the Super Bowl more recently the past 2 years, 3 years, and you're first off, you're not even in the top 10. You need to be at least in the top 3 or 4. But Sean McVay, I'm like, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Right now, the man and the team is the Los Angeles Rams. That's just what it is. Until they're dethroned, they're the man right now.
So here's my problem with Sean McVay being number 1. If we're gonna go by that, Kansas City has been to 2 Super Bowls, right? 2 Super Bowls in the last couple years.
Just like him, won one, lost one.
Him, right? But he's also they've also been further in the playoffs. If you look at the last 4 years, Kansas City has made it further in the playoffs than Sean McVay has the other 2 years that he wasn't in the Super Bowl. So you kind of got to give edge to Andy Reid. Plus, you got to give edge to Andy Reid just for the simple fact of longevity and what he's done for multiple teams. I mean, he's a legendary coach already in the Hall of Fame. I'm sure he's already got that jacket over there in Canton. Okay. But I'm not mad with Sean McVay being number 2. I'm totally not upset with number 2, Sean McVay, number 2. I'll tell you that right now. He damn sure overtime Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Belichick, when's the last time Bill Belichick been to a Super Bowl? Oh, that's right. When Brady was the quarterback, right? About 5 years ago?
No, that was 3 years ago.
4
years ago. He didn't go to last year. Brady was there. And Brady's going into his third year with the Bucks.
Third year with the Bucks.
This will be his third year. That last year, the year that they beat the Rams, that was the last Super Bowl that they won.
Right.
That was 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think that was 17, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
In the comment section, what year was it that the Rams got beat by the Patriots? By the way, put that in the comment section, folks, for everybody that's tuned in, listening right now. All right. Number 2, Sean McVay. Number 3. Now, here's where number 3 gets interesting. Are we putting Belichick at number 3, or are we putting somebody else at number 3? Because if we're putting somebody else at number 3, I got a couple of candidates.
I think to take your team to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback and Mac Jones in a very pedestrian passing game, I do believe that you deserve some props for that. Okay? But I cannot have Bill Belichick at number 1. I just can't have him there. 3 or 4, top 5, I can have him there. For Mac, what he did with Mac Jones, considering they really don't have elite wide receivers over there, and still able to win, to go into make the to beat the Bills that first game in the snow with his quarterback throwing 3 times in a straight up blizzard. I mean, you got to get some props for that. That's coaching. You're throwing the ball 3 times and you win a game against the Buffalo Bills, one of the high scoring, high flying teams in the NFL, and to win that game. That's coaching. That's nothing but coaching right there.
Yeah, Jay Andre said that it was 2018. Yuri said, "Where's Mike Tomlin?" Adrian said, "I remember when Dallas was good, Mr. Betts." Adrian Audrey picking at you. He said, "I remember when Dallas was good, Mr. Betts." All right. With that being said, we is not getting into no debate about Buffalo and Dallas right now. We got to stick to the topic of these coaches, okay? So number 3, Dalton, who would be number 3 on your list? Marcus, who would be number 3 on your list?
Either Sean McVay or Bill Belichick. They would be like in my top 3.
So wait a minute. Who's your top 2? Well, let's get your top 2 right now. You and Dalton first. Let's get your top 2.
Top two. We all agree Andy Reid, right? With
yes.
recency. So we all say. So then McVay and Belichick round out my top 3. Whatever way that you want to put them.
Wow, y'all being real nice. Dalton, your thought?
I'm gonna put Andy Reid at number 1, and number 2. As much as I'd say it, I'm gonna say Sean McVay.
Okay. So who's number 3?
To be honest with you, and I'm not saying this because I like the Bills. That's just my opinion. I'm gonna say Sean McDermott.
I can't put Sean McDermott in it. With that loss to the Chiefs last year, you cannot be in my top 3. To lose that game in 13 seconds, you cannot be in my top 3. You cannot lose that game. You cannot lose that game. I just can't put. Now, I believe he deserves to be on this list, but I can't put him in the top 3.
Fair
I
enough.
just can't do it. And I can't put him over Andy Reid when Andy Reid has been tanning his butt every time they see each other. I also look at head-to-head meetings. There's no way that Sean McDermott could be ahead of Andy Reid, and every time Andy Reid has seen him, he's kicked his teeth in. It just can't happen. So I look at head-to-head matchups too. We can have a debate when it's like, well, I think this guy's better over here. But when you line up against each other and you beat somebody head-to-head, like John Elway beat Brett Favre, the proof is in the put head. You can't argue with head-to-head. What is Andy Reid's record against Sean McDermott?
Andy Reid's record is 3-1.
3-1.
There's no way that you can put Sean McDermott ahead of Andy Reid. You just can't. And really, you almost can't put him in front. You can't put Sean McDermott ahead of the coach from the Titans either.
Oh, yes, you can.
Nope,
yes,
you sure can't.
Yes, you can. Really. Yes, you can. I got a debate for that. Yes,
the last two games that they played, the Titans have run the ball down their throat. I can't put him in. I can't put him in.
You can. Again, why you can?
Why is that?
You want to know why you can? Because I think you forget that the 2 years before that the Bills beat the Titans twice already too. So technically, it's 2-2. It's not 2-0. It's 2-2. Let's not forget. Now, here's the other reason why I put him over Vrabel. Well, I like the pick that you said, Sean McDermott. And I got Sam Slade on the line, by the way, folks. That wasn't going to be my number 3, though. Sean McDermott is number 4 to me. Y'all not going to like me for what I'm about to say, but Matt LaFleur is number 3.
Hell no. Hell no. I'm not putting LaFleur has done nothing.
Matt LaFleur has, wait a minute. Whoa. Time out. Marcus, the alphabet.
Yes.
You said Matt LaFleur has done nothing. Well, that's interesting that you say that he's done nothing, Mr. I want to take away all somebody's accomplishments. Sir, name another coach who has coached 3 straight 13-3 records.
Okay.
3 in a row.
Didn't they just get bounced in the wild card weekend?
Yeah, that's fine. Marcus, where did they go before that? They went to two
NFC championships.
Right. So he got bounced in the wild card. Right. Okay. But name another coach that slept on this list who's done that. Done those two. Name another one.
Okay.
Don't say Mike Vrabel. You bet not say Kyle Shanahan. And you damn sure bet not say Cliff Kingsbury or excuse my French, or Pete Carroll. Are you serious?
I'm not putting Pete Carroll.
Mike McCarthy on this list neither. And you bet not say Frank Wright, by the way.
I have no issues with if Mike McCarthy's not on this list. I have no issues if he's not on this list.
By process of elimination, Matt LaFleur should be number 3 on the list. Sean McDermott ain't on the list. You can't name another coach. Go ahead and try to name one. Go ahead. I know you got that big ass Kool-Aid smile on your face right now, but it ain't working. Name another one. Go ahead. And you better not say first year Zach Taylor, brother. I need to see some more.
He was in his. What's he in his second or third year? Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor was this close to getting fired last year. He was this close. By the skin of his teeth, getting fired. So I can't put. Man, this is tough, man.
Yeah, it's real tough. It's real tough. Number 4, Sam Slade. Let me ask you, who's your top 3 coaches right now?
I gotta say, McVay is definitely number 1 without a doubt. I said Andy Reid number 2. And I'm going to say a guy that got fired, even though I like the guy. I like Mike Zimmer. He's got to be top 5 somewhere along the line, even though he's got a team. He had teams that he didn't have any players. So somewhere along the line, we got to mention Mike Zimmer.
Okay, if you're going to do that, then if we're going to talk about fired and retired coaches, then we got to put Sean Payton on there. I mean, we're talking about coaches that actually have jobs. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we're gonna do that, then we can start with Bruce Arians should be on there. Bruce Arians is not the coach no more. You know what I'm saying? You have to. We got to be realistic here. I mean, I respect Mike Zimmer. He used to be our defensive coordinator with the Cowboys. I can't have Mike Zimmer on this list because he's may not even coach next year. I deal with the here and now guys that are coaching. Maybe Sean Payton comes back and there's a lot of rumors about Sean Payton coming back and coaching next year. Okay, and we'll discuss that next year. Sean Payton is not coaching in the NFL this year, so I can't have him on this list. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
All right.
It does.
Now, number 4, obviously, is who? Come on.
I know I'm going to get roasted for this. Where is Mike Tomlin? Where is Mike Tomlin? We can't have Mike Tomlin, who has now. I get it. The Steelers, Ramona, I love you. The Steelers are about to have some very lean years, some very, very. But you cannot argue with a guy who's never. Hasn't he made the playoffs like every year that they've been there? That he's been there.
Yeah, Marcus the alphabet.
Yeah,
Marcus the alphabet.
Yes,
I know why you bring up Mike Tomlin. See, you ain't slick. I'm catching you. See, I'm about to catch you early. It's 29 minutes into the show, and I'm going to catch you early. Don't you dare put Mike Tomlin over Sean McDermott right now in the last 5 years. Are you kidding me? Sean McDermott took a Buffalo Bills team who didn't make the playoffs for 17 seasons and have been to the playoffs 4 out of the last 5 years. An AFC championship appearance. You got a playoff appearance. You got a divisional appearance. And you got a wild card appearance. All in Sean McDermott's 5 years, and he's only missed the playoffs once, which was in 2018 with that god-awful team we know about, okay, that we all grew accustomed to. I hear jokes about it all the time from Dalton D-Man Smith about Kelvin Benjamin and the rest of those guys. Let's not go there. Are you kidding me? If Sean McDermott is not top 5 in your list, I got a problem. There's a problem somewhere. There is a problem somewhere. You bringing up Mike Tomlin because you want to keep Sean McDermott off the top 5. I see you, Marcus.
Sean McDermott. Listen, Sean McDermott is going to get crucified until he's able to turn that around. That loss to the Chiefs was bad, bro. That loss, that was a bad loss. Sometimes you take a loss and it's just like, it's like Pete Carroll. When he lost that Super Bowl, when they tried to throw the ball on the 1 yard line, it's that kind of loss where you just like look at him. It's like, really, bro? Really?
Wait a minute. Catch Marcus the alphabets once again. Hold on. Don't let him slide today. Today is not let Marcus bet slide today. Okay? Don't let him slide. Marcus, aren't you very familiar with losing games in a couple seconds too, sir? Last I checked, do you remember the field goal in Dallas, sir? That Green Bay kicked two plays. It took 2 plays for Aaron Rodgers to go down the field and then kick that game winner. Do you remember that? How bad was that loss?
It was bad. And guess what? Because of that loss, Jason Garrett is an analyst now. You cannot make that. You cannot make mistakes like that. And let me tell you something. If he keeps making mistakes like that and losing a game 13 seconds left, because you can't run out the clock with 13 seconds left, those are those kind of losses that, it just people look at you differently. How would we look differently at Marv Levy if he wins one of those Super Bowls? When we talk about the best coaches of the best coaches of the best coaches of all time, is Marv Levy mentioned in any of those? And how would we be talking about Marv Levy if he wins one of those Super Bowls out of 4? So when you come up short, you're getting graded against the best of the best of the best of the best. It's not the hall of very good. It's a hall of fame. Legendary guys that make the best plays and championships and all pros and Pro Bowls. It's not
right, we're talking about top current coaches right now.
And right now, Sean McVay, his reputation is unfortunately the guy who at the end who can't win the big game. Who can't win the big game?
Sean McDermott.
Sean McDermott, the guy who can't win the big game. Now, will the Buffalo Bills win a Super Bowl? I don't know. We'll see. But right now, what it is his losing to the Chiefs. That's his legacy right now. Losing the Big Red and the Chiefs. Now we'll see with Tyreek Hill gone, but you're playing them twice a year in your own division. We'll see. But I'm not ready to concede that to him yet because 13 seconds, that loss, man, that's a bad loss. That's like the Saints loss with Sean Payton with Stephon Diggs, with that last tip up or whatever. That people look at you differently after losses like that. They look at you differently.
Yep.
Unfortunately. This league is like Janet Jackson, Dre. What have you done for me lately?
Marcus.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that you just tried to sing. Oh my goodness. I mean, I know that I would knock a door off a hinge, but Marcus, if you don't get that Shaquille O'Neal singing stuff the hell up out of here. Yo. Okay. With that being said, let's go to number 5. Obviously, who's number 5?
We said Reed, McVay, Belichick. I don't have a problem with your boy. I don't have a problem with your boy Matt LaFleur. 13-3. I mean, that's that's pretty nice.
Times in a row.
Yeah, I can't. Let's go. Let's go, McFleur.
Okay, so
McFleur.
LaFleury.
McFlurry.
Mr. Who can't beat the 49ers in the playoffs?
Yeah, the one who can't beat the 49ers in the playoffs. So who's number 5? Is Sean McDermott number 5?
I'm going to say Kyle Shanahan.
Oh,
My God.
Because he beat Matt LaFleur.
What a great way to bend the rules, Marcus. Even though Sean McDermott beat Kyle Shanahan.
Has McDermott been to the Super Bowl?
You know what? I'm done with this conversation.
I'm just asking. I mean, we got to take these things into consideration.
Okay, here we go. Marcus, number 5.
To go to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, that's decent. You need some kind of props for that. To go to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, you deserve a little bit of respect. You deserve a little bit of respect.
Kyle Shanahan's in at 2-0, one as the offense coordinator with the Falcons and head coach as the 49ers.
Yeah, he was getting carried like your boy Elway. Yeah, we're going to get into that a little later, too. Number 6, okay? Okay. Number 6, man. Who's number 6? 6 through 10. This is interesting. Who are we starting with at number 6?
Now you can start talking about the McDermotts to me. I think you get with the McDermott. You got McDermott, the guy from the Titans. He was the coach of the year, wasn't he? I think he was the coach of the year this past year. They were the number 1 seed. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC. Without
Derrick Henry.
Without Derrick Henry, I mean, most of the year, like half of the year. I mean, you got to get some props for that, you know. Zach Taylor, guys like that. You got to start looking at guys like that in there. Young coaches You know, and maybe even your Pete Carrolls and guys like that later on in the list. There's no way that Pete Carroll deserves to be in the top 3 to 5. He doesn't deserve that. So that's who I would have in a situation like that.
All right. So, Dalton, who's number 6 to you?
Let's see. I probably get roasted. I'm going to say John Harbaugh.
Come on now. How you forget about Zach Taylor?
I'm kidding. I got Zach Taylor. I'm just trying to give Grace a hard time. Yes, I'll put Zach Taylor number 6.
Okay. I got Zach Taylor at number 6. I got to put him at number 6. We either got him at number 6 or we got to unfortunately take Mike Vrabel or one of those coaches at number 6. Unfortunately, Mike Vrabel has been to the playoffs a couple times. Unfortunately.
Does Mike McCarthy not deserve to be on this list at all? 12-5 last year.
No. You want to know why he don't deserve to be on this list? Want to know why?
Why is that?
Because Frank Wright don't either. Let me tell you why he don't either.
Okay.
Do you know where Sean McDermott was actually on this list?
16.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 16.
16.
That's just very disrespectful.
What in the entire bro?
Now y'all talk about me being a Buffalo Bills hater. That's some Buffalo Bill haterism right there. That it's like, come on, bro. We got to be realistic here. Like, I get it. You don't like this team or what? 16. Nobody who watches football would say that Sean McDermott is. You're basically saying he's an average coach. There's 32 teams, right? If you're saying what's half of 32? There's 32 teams
16,
in the NFL.
Right.
16. You're saying he's an average coach. He's a middle. You're saying he's a middle of the pack coach, and that's just mediocrity. That's just asinine. That's just asinine. So
that's crazy to me.
So whoever made this list. I think we at the Rise Up Sports family, we're gonna have to write the people at PFF, and we're gonna have to file a formal complaint against this. All the Bills Mafia out there, y'all need to write a letter and complain about this travesty. It's travesty.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. It is a doggone shame. By the way, do we want to do 7 through 10? Or we want to say that? Do we want to save it or do we want to do it?
We'll say that. Look, when you start getting there, that's kind of tomatoes, personal preference. You know, you do have the championship. You still got to give guys props for winning championships. It's hard to win Super Bowls. That's why there's some teams that have never been to the Super Bowl, and that's why there's some teams that haven't won a Super Bowl. It's hard to win championships. I always get flabbergasted when people
only won one.
Huh?
I was waiting for you to say only won. I was waiting for it. You know, I was waiting for you to say something else slick. You started it.
No, I'm saying it's hard to win the Super Bowl. Every year, the other 31 teams are sitting up there without a championship. You know, it's hard to win championships. So when I hear people make, cockamamie comments, oh, you haven't won in this long or what, dude, it's hard. When you have a team that's won multiple championships and you got teams that have never even been to the Super Bowl, it's hard. It's really hard to do. So, I mean, if you've never seen your team have a hometown parade because you done won, that's one of those bucket list things, man, that you just got to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Totally agreed. All right, Sam.
Yes, sir.
Any thoughts to the list?
I'm going to say a long shot. Maybe towards the bottom of the list, but he's reaching into the list. How about the Jets coach, Mr. Saleh? He hasn't won he's not no superstar. He doesn't have any superstar players, but he's okay. I think he's coming along.
I don't know about top 10 yet, but he's definitely that. I mean, you got some up and coming coaches. I think that, I can't put Saleh over Zach Taylor, who's been to the Super Bowl. As far as young coaches, you got some young coaches up in there. It's just like, wow, you see some The thing is, will the Jets get impatient and right when this guy's about to make this team great, fire him? That's the Jets' MO, right? They get a coach, he's there for 3 or 4 years, maybe he's fired. This really depends on the progression of the quarterback. This really depends on him because that's really been their thing, trying to find a suitable quarterback. They've had a hard time keeping coaches and the reason the coaches don't stay because they just have an issue with quarterback, and they're thinking that this Zach Wilson kid, can he take that next step this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's going to be something this year, something that no one's going to even predict. They're not going to win no championship or nothing like that, but they're going to be a better team, I think, this year.
Well, are the Jets better than the Dolphins right now?
Don't get it twisted. They very well could be.
You can't be last in the division and say, well, this guy's making strides. Are they better than I don't know if they're better than the Dolphins right now. I don't think that they're better than the Bills. I don't know if they're better than the Dolphins. You got the young kid over there in Miami, and they got firepower over there. Did you know? Yeah.
You want to hear a did you know moment? Did you know that Mookie Hawkins has the Bills losing to the Jets this year?
I'm surprised at that because every year Mookie Hawkins, I thought him and Monster's prediction was that the Buffalo Bills go 17-0. So that's really surprising to hear.
Boo! Terrible. Right. Oh, they don't think it's Tua time yet. Sam Slade said it ain't Tua time. Wait a minute. Marcus, tell Sam Slade what you think about Tua real quick.
The bone density of a calcium-deprived toddler.
He's laughing. He is dying laughing over here. He said, oh, my God. All right. Speaking of quarterbacks, the AFC quarterbacks have been ranked, folks. Let's look at this list real quick. Oh, yeah. And you see who's on there. Mr. Patrick Mahomes himself. We have Patrick Mahomes at number 1, Josh Allen number 2, Justin Herbert 3, Russell Wilson 4, Joe Burrow 5, Lamar Jackson 6, Deshaun Watson 7, Derek Carr 8. Is this list correct?
I think in the AFC, first off, the AFC is loaded at quarterback. You've had some good quarterbacks from the NFC go to the AFC. When you look at a guy like Matt Ryan, Matt Ryan's usually regarded as a pretty damn good quarterback, leaving the Atlanta Falcons and going to the Colts.
Matt Ryan's not even on this list.
I'm saying it's loaded though. That just shows you how. If Matt Ryan were still in the NFC, he would be one of the top quarterbacks in the NFC. So for him to go to the AFC, he's not even listed. That's pretty tough. I think you look at the top 2 up there. You look at the Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. I think having Patrick Mahomes at number 1. Generally he's going to get it just because of his record against the Buffalo Bills. Once again, when it's a head-to-head competition, and y'all have played several times, what is Patrick Mahomes' record against the Buffalo Bills? 3-1.
3-1, yeah.
And then has put the Buffalo Bills out of the playoffs 2 years in a row. Two years in a row. Before that, you got put out by what? Deshaun Watson? That was the Deshaun Watson game, right? Where they came back?
Deshaun Watson with the Texans.
So, and I don't even want to – we talked about Deshaun Watson. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. But, I think it's fair to say Patrick Mahomes. But once again, we're going to see what Patrick Mahomes is without Tyreek Hill. That's a question that we have to answer. We're going to see what Derek Carr with no playoffs win. What does he look like when an elite, with many people believe is the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL going there, them playing together in college and just practicing together. We're going to see. But I don't think it's so far-fetched to say Patrick Mahomes by the tiniest of margins. By the tiniest of margins. I don't have an issue with that. Lamar Jackson, is Lamar Jackson even going to be with the Ravens to start the season? Because this guy, he's been sitting out, waiting for a contract. So my top two right off the top are Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, easily, and it's not even an issue for me.
Oh, how sweet it is! It's so sweet that I had to put up this donut for the 0% after number 2 that I believe when it comes to this doggone list. Number 1 and number 2 is right. After that, here's the 0, the donut. And I mean, it's got a little powder on it. You know, if I go like this right now, it'll look like snowfall. This list is god awful. It's terrible. Once again, terrible. How in the HE double hockey sticks is Justin Herbert number 3?
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, he should not be on number 3, in my opinion.
I just think people look at his potential, but there's no way that I can put Justin Herbert over Joe Burrow.
Exactly.
In his same draft class, the 2020 draft class,
has already
who's already been to a Super Bowl. There's just no way I can put Justin Herbert
in playoff games. And I mean, he won road playoff games, by the way.
He won a playoff game after getting sacked 9 times in a game.
He won on the road against Tennessee. Then won on the road against Kansas City. 2 of the best teams in AFC he won on the road against. This is not even a home playoff game. He has
beat the number 1 seed. The number 1 seed on the road.
Beat him. And then beat Kansas City, which was the number 2 seed on the road. 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, you got.
There's no way Justin Herbert to me is number 3. And let's not forget that Joe Burrow bounced back from a major injury.
Yeah, and torn ACL.
He just went to the Super Bowl. I mean,
yeah.
Joe Burrow to me is number 3.
Yeah, I put Joe Burrow at number 3.
I haven't seen Russell Wilson for the Denver Broncos yet.
Yeah,
I mean, is Russell bad? Yeah, he's a bad man. I'll leave him at number 4. Because I do think Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. I do think he's better than Derek Carr. Is he better than Deshaun Watson? Now, here's the conversation. Here's where the conversation comes into play. Is he really better than Deshaun Watson? Would you take Watson or would you take Wilson if you had it? I mean, that's tough. Wilson has played with some players, and Deshaun Watson, I mean,
if Deshaun, that's not the question we need to be asking. The question we need to be asking is Deshaun Watson going to be playing football this year? And that's a very legitimate question. And we here at the Rise Up family, we're neither confirming nor denying that he plays. We're going to let the legal system play out. But right now, as it stands today, what's today's date? It's looking very, very slim. Oh, the 13th. That's not a good day to be making predictions. On the 13th, it's not looking very good that Deshaun Watson's playing football this year. Not looking very good. I mean, we just got to be real with it. You know, it's just not. You know, so I would probably go with Russell Wilson, put him ahead. You know, and it's a fluid situation. We'll see what happens as far as what's going to happen. Is with that, and whenever we get some type of clarification on that, then we'll go with that. But right now, I got to go with Russ with slightly over Deshaun Watson because I don't know if I'm not confident in Deshaun Watson playing football this year.
All right.
Yeah, it's very focused on that one. I don't see Watson's going to play, though. I feel like Wilson's going to be better than Watson, though.
Yeah, I just
Who you got?
Definitely not Derek Carr.
Oh, shoot. He said definitely not Derek Carr. So Derek Carr is on the bottom of the list then.
He shouldn't make no list. He should make a list of free agency. He's so terrible.
Oh my goodness. You got Derek. You don't really like Derek Carr?
Pass.
Who's the best wide receiver that Derek Carr? Who's the best wide receiver that Derek Carr's ever played with? And listen, I'm not a Raiders fan, but who's the best wide receiver that listen, folks, having a number one. What was our opinion of Josh Allen before he got Stephon Diggs?
Totally different. Can't compare the two.
But I'm saying though, you don't think that having a number one wide receiver that you can throw the ball up to when you get into trouble, you don't think that listen, I'm not a Raiders fan, and I'm not making excuses. And yes, Derek Carr doesn't have any playoff wins, but having a number one wide receiver, and this is the same argument that I make for Lamar Jackson when people are like, oh, he's a running back playing quarterback. Who's the best wide receiver that Lamar Jackson's ever had? Hollywood Brown? Is Hollywood Brown the number one wide receiver?
No.
Well, I will say this. I get that. I totally respect it, but you still gotta produce. To me, that's a sorry excuse for not producing. That's a bad excuse for not producing. I get it. Talent, everything. I know what you're saying.
As awesome as Aaron Rodgers is with Devontae Adams. What was the Packers' main downfall?
That's a good question because
I got the answer for you. I just want to see if you had the same answer as I do.
Some people say he didn't have enough weapons at the receiver position. Even though the Packers was number one in total offense last year.
I got you on that.
Hold on, watch this. The second thing that people say is that the cornerback position for the Green Bay Packers is very lackluster. In which they
I got you on that. I think it's not having a number two, a consistent number two on the other side that the other team worried about. Now, you don't have a number two, and you're still winning 13 games. How many games are you going to win when you don't even have a number one? And you listen. The Raiders drafted Henry Ruggs over Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and Jerry Jeudy.
All right, but I will reverse that because let me reverse that. There's some quarterbacks.
And remember, Derek Carr used to have
elite number ones to win.
Cowboys.
And he was 1,000-yard receiver. And he was 1,000-yard receiver. And Amari Cooper has been dumped by two teams that say he plays when he wants to play.
Right.
Now watch this though, Marcus.
And I'm a Cowboys fan.
That's funny that you brought up the Packers.
Okay.
Because do you feel that the Packers have a number one receiver now?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers is undefeated without Devontae Adams. He's 10-0.
When you listen, how many years have they been playing together? Winning 2 or 3 games because your guy is gone and knowing he's not on the team anymore is something totally different.
He's wait a minute.
Yeah.
You said 2 or 3 games. We're talking 1, 2, 3.
No, 4, I'm talking 2 or 3 games. It wasn't.
8,
it wasn't.
9,
hang on. I got you. The point I'm making, I understand what you're saying.
I know where you're going with that.
Was it 10 games this season? You think they would have won as many games this season if Devontae Adams didn't play for 10 games this season? If he wasn't out there? If you know a guy's coming back, you're kind of like, okay, we're going to patch things up for a couple of weeks.
See,
and he'll be back in 2 weeks.
That's interesting to say. I guess we'll find out this season, though, Marcus.
There's a lot of guys we're about to find. We're about to find out about Patrick Mahomes. You know, we got Patrick Mahomes at number one. Is he still number one without Tyreek Hill? With a guy that he can throw a 5-yard slant to, that he takes it 80 yards to the house and outruns everybody?
Right. This is why I like this season coming up. I like this season coming up because we're gonna find out very quickly who's who. We're gonna find out very quickly who's who without a number one. We're going to find out if Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, who technically is 1 and 2 at the quarterback position right now currently, and we're talking about best quarterbacks period in the league. 1 and 2 is Mahomes and Rodgers, however you want to put them. Let's be clear. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to find out that 10-0 is legit.
Yeah.
If the Packers do not make this move that I think that they damn sure should. I don't know. Maybe he is already taken by somebody. But last I checked, I didn't think Julio Jones was taken by anybody, was he?
Nope.
If the Packers go get Julio Jones, we are talking about a restart of somebody's resurgent career. If you don't think Aaron Rodgers will make Julio Jones something special again, you're out of your mind.
Julio Jones' issue is injuries. They just caught his lower leg injuries. His lower leg. He reminds me of Sammy Watkins.
Yep.
It was by no way am I saying that Sammy Watkins was as good as Julio Jones in his prime. Once you get a big guy who can't run no more, can't make cuts, he's done. He's absolutely done. The person I thought y'all were gonna go. If I'm y'all, I'm making a call to Seattle. That's who I'm making a call to.
Oh, for DK Metcalf. Yes. I'll take him. I'm on the horn. I'm on the horn right now with Seattle. I don't know why they haven't done that.
With San Francisco, I'm on the horn trying to talk to the Saints. What y'all want for Michael Thomas? What y'all want for him? You talking about a person reviving their career?
Or I say slant boy.
I'm telling you, another guy out there I think who could really help y'all that I think Aaron Rodgers would love, and he's injured a lot, but I think if he went to the Packers, I think he could really revive his career, would be Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller with Aaron Rodgers would be but I thought that's why I'm so mad at the Cowboys. I'm like, with Amari Cooper, them giving him up for a 5th-round pick. Can you imagine Amari Cooper and Aaron Rodgers? Y'all didn't make no play for him at all. Would you want a guy? I put Julio Jones in the same category that I put like T.Y. Hilton, like a guy who was an elite wide receiver who's just done. Like he's just done. His legs are done. And when your legs are done as a receiver, you're just done. Now they did draft a kid out of North Dakota State. In Dubo, was that his name? Dubo. There was another
from Nevada.
Yeah, Dubo. And we're gonna see. You told me, just like your man Brett Favre, who's not as good as John Elway, making receivers. Well, we're gonna see if Aaron Rodgers can make receivers.
Yeah. Okay. Sam Slade, question. Before we get into this debate, is Brett Favre better than John Elway?
In my opinion, there are different eras, and I think Brett Favre was better than Elway.
Oh!
Tell me why. Don't this? I want to know why.
Competition, grit, fortitude, all the undefinables that Elway had some tough games and tough years. But I still say Favre was one of the greatest quarterbacks ever played the game, never will play the game.
Thank you. I'm trying to tell this, brother. I'm trying to get.
No, I hear people say, what do you think, Dalton? See, some of you, first off, to have this conversation, you got to be at least about 30 plus years old. I don't want to hear from young whippersnappers. Somebody 17, 18 years. Oh man, because you ask these kids nowadays who's the best basketball player, they don't even say Jordan. They be like Steph Curry.
Well, hold on.
I think Sam Slade older than you.
Wait, hold
Marcus.
on. Define young, Marcus. Define young.
Not breath still smelling like Similac, young.
Okay, it's 24 young. I need to ask that.
How about this? I have a 25-year-old son. You tell me.
Because let me say this: when it comes to basketball, the greatest of all time is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
Okay.
Oh, Rocco, what's good, Rock? I'm glad that you just stepped in the building because we just finished our first hour of the show. Rise Above
Yeah, I
Liberty
told you I'd
Radio.
try to get on after work, man. So
I know you told me, and I knew you was coming. I knew you was. I just knew. So we've been having some conversation. Let me tell you first and foremost, our show topics have been top 10 coaches that PFF put out, which was disgusting. We've talked about AFC quarterback.
Don't try to get away from this Elway.
We're going to get into the Elway Favre debate coming up.
Oh, we have to do this again. Come on.
wait, hold
If
on.
I say one, I say Favre is better than Elway.
Wait, Andre, I saw the list for the top 10 coaches, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Trash.
Yes, thank you.
Comes to deuce. I know you used to have the toilet flush. You don't do that no more, but it would have been a toilet flush.
Maybe I should go get it. Should I go get it one time? One time for the one time? I'll go get it. I promise.
But when you're talking about Elway versus Favre, let me say this. Let me try to say it in the best way possible, all right? When it came to pure talent, Elway was better than Favre.
No doubt about it.
Hold on. But when it comes to accomplishment, when it comes to what they did in terms of career, Favre was better than Elway.
How? Okay, first off, okay, let me respond to that. Let me tell y'all something, guys. When you play 20 years, do you think Frank Gore was an awesome running back?
Wait a minute. Whoa. Time out. Wait a minute. Before you get into your debate stuff, sir, you gotta do this the right way. You gotta have your whole entire debate ready, and then we gonna see what our peers gonna say. And I got Jay Andre on here too. What's good, Jay Andre?
What's going on, y'all boys?
What's
going on? Listen, hold on. First and foremost, Marcus the Alphabets is about to get what I have not given in so long, and that is the toilet flush. Right now, if he tell me one more time, sir, if you tell me one more, I'm waiting for you to try to tell me, sir, how is Elway more talented? Okay, you know what? Let's do this. We got Dalton, we got Jay Andre, we got Ian McKelly, we got Sam Slade, and everybody tuned in right now. Watch it. Listen, me and Marcus, the Alphabet, the Alpha, the fire starter, is about to tell y'all why we think Favre and Elway is better than each other. You guys afterwards can tell us what y'all think and then vote. How about that? Let's make it interesting.
That sounds good, but let me just say Favre is better than Elway because
thank you.
Elway went into them Super Bowls. Yeah, he may have won the Super Bowl against Favre, but you had one of the greatest tight ends of all time, and Shannon Sharp. You had Terrell Davis.
What do you think? Okay, do you know what year John Elway? What year was John Elway drafted? Does anybody know what year John Elway was drafted?
1983.
I do.
What year? 1983. Do you know when he got Shannon Sharp?
Yep.
1994.
1990. His first 7 years he didn't have Rod Smith. He didn't have Ed McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey's dad. He didn't have any of those guys.
I'm saying
he went to 3 Super Bowls before that. Do y'all understand that? Y'all are looking at the John Elway. Yes, the John Elway with Terrell Davis at the end of his career. What was it, 98, 99, when they beat the Falcons and the Packers? When he was 38 years old and beat Brett Favre head to head.
So
But he went to 3 Super Bowls before that and lost to guys like Joe Montana, who had a prime Jerry Rice, a prime Roger Craig, a prime Dwight Clark, guys like that. Taylor on the other side of Rice. Those are guys. Tell me the all pros that John Elway. Do you know the guys who Brett Favre played with? Amon Green, an 1,800-yard rusher.
That was in
Dorsey Levens, Robert Brooks, Greg Jennings.
None of those guys are better.
Mark Chmura, Desmond Howard. The receivers, Donald Driver. These
Andre Rison.
13 and 1,400-yard receivers, an 1,800-yard running back. And in 20 years of playing, he has won Super Bowl. Brett Favre right now isn't even the greatest Packers quarterback. How about that? He's not even the best Packers quarterback of all time. Not even the best Packers quarterback.
Oh, man, he's giving respect to Bart Starr. Shout to them. Okay, cool.
Okay, but I'm just saying, people are, well, look, yes, I get it. He had those guys. Now imagine if John Elway had his starting running back was 100-year-old Tony Dorsett and Sammy Winder, while Brett Favre is playing with Amon Green, Dorsey and Dorsey Levens. His wide receivers back then, who were his wide receivers? Look at the wide receivers from the 80s, not those 90s teams. Y'all keep thinking about Ed McCaffrey and Rod Smith and Terrell Davis and those guys. I'm talking about the 3 Super Bowls he lost. Have y'all ever heard of the Drive? I know all of y'all youngsters, y'all laugh at the Cleveland Browns. Let me tell you something. In the 1980s, the Cleveland Browns were actually pretty good. They were actually pretty good. You know who their coach was?
You mean the last time they were relevant?
You know who their coach was? Y'all know who the Browns coach was?
Marty Schottenheimer.
No, it wasn't. It was
Yeah, it was Marty Schottenheimer.
It was Marty Schottenheimer. Those Browns teams. I know all you kids out there. You've always thought the Cleveland Browns in the 1980s were pretty good, boys and girls. They were pretty good. And John Elway had a thing. I want you to go to YouTube and look at the Drive. That was John Elway, a 2-sport athlete who went #1 overall, was #1 in baseball and #1 in football, who took his team with no All-Pros, with no Pro Bowlers to the Super Bowl 3 times. And Brett Favre goes to 2 Super Bowls, loses one to a 38-year-old quarterback with maybe the best wide receiver core in the league. Stop it.
Whoa there. I'm glad to pull up to this conversation. Are you entertained? Have you been entertained
I'm just saying.
by Marcus the Alphabets? Is that your debate, Marcus the Alphabets? Is that your debate?
Just because you played a long time like Brett Favre doesn't make you great. Frank Gore is the right now. So he just retired. He's number 3 all time on the rushing record. There's nobody out here in the world who thinks that Frank Gore is a top 3 running back of all time, even though he has the 3rd most rushing yards in history. He just played a long time, just like Brett Favre. Oh, he has all of these yards. You know who has the most interceptions in history? Does anybody know? Anybody want to take a guess? Brett Favre. That's what happens when you play for 20 years. The most interceptions in history. Do you know who has the most tackles for losses in NFL history? Anybody guess? Anybody want to take a guess? Come on, man. Terrible. Playing for 20 years. You know who else has played for 20 years? For 20 plus years? You know who else? Tom Brady. How many championships does he have?
7.
And Brett Favre has played for 20 and has one? Stop it, man.
Listen to this. Marcus the Alphabets is hella hilarious, y'all. Let me tell y'all how hilarious Marcus the Alphabets is. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for Marcus to get scorched? Y'all ready?
Of course, me.
I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna break this down in every.
This man has like 500 interceptions. He has like 500 interceptions.
Marcus, my turn, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Turn. I get the. Okay.
But before you start, I need you to tell me the All Pros and Pro Bowlers that John Elway played with before 1990, and all the All Pros and Pro Bowlers that Brett Favre played with.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna get into all that. You ready?
Okay, do
I'm
that.
gonna get into it. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Sports angle. Let me make sure I give this to you from a different angle. The sports angle. All right. Rocco, you here?
I'm right here, man. I'm right here.
Rocco, you here?
He's right there.
I think he is. There he is. He's in the building. Okay. That's what's up. Jay Andre's in the building. Dome's in the building. Sam Slade in the building. All right. First and
Well,
foremost.
by the way, isn't the tackles for loss leader, isn't it Suggs, I think? Terrell Suggs?
It is.
I'm talking about people. I'm talking the person who's been tackled for the most losses, not the person who has it. I'm talking about the person who's thrown the most interceptions is Brett Favre.
Okay, watch this. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Marcus the Alphabets, folks. I gotta catch this dude while he's slipping. Marcus the Alphabets is one who talks about availability being the best ability, yet he dogs Brett Favre for 20 years of service. Great service. Brett Favre being, and don't you say nothing. No, don't you say a word. Brett Favre giving 20 years of service. That's like being in the military, giving 20 years of service, and then somebody says, "Well, you know what? You cocked your gun wrong about 20 times during those 20 years." I mean, if you've been in the league 20 damn years, what you think you're not gonna have no mistakes? You ain't gonna have no blemishes? I don't want to hear that. But Marcus will not sit up here. Marcus will not sit up here and bring up the fact that, sir, number one. I want to ask, by what metric is John Elway better than Brett Favre? I keep asking this question.
I don't just go off of you're asking me a question. If you ask me a question,
you don't get the answer. No. You don't get the answer.
I mean, I got the answer, but I'll let him go. I'll let him talk.
By what metric is John Elway better than Brett Favre? And please don't tell me the Super Bowl rings, because once again, he reminds me of at 38, 39, getting carried by the number one defense in the league, being carried by a top defense, along with wide receivers and Rod Smith and McCaffrey, Terrell Davis, who he was carried by, Shannon Sharp, two Super Bowls in a row, back to back at 38 and 39, sir. If he didn't have those players, he'd probably still have one. Because guess what, John Elway, I do remember as many Super Bowls as you talk about. I remember LeBron James going to plenty NBA Finals, and guess what he's still considered as? A loser. Yeah, he lost. He was a choke artist. Let's be clear. Marcus the Alphabets don't want to admit that John Elway was a choke artist. Yes, he won one Super Bowl. So did Brett Favre in his first 7 years too. But John Elway was a choke artist. He didn't even get that far as Brett Favre did in the playoffs in his first 7 years. Brett Favre got to divisionals. He got to the actual game before the Super Bowl. John Elway wasn't even doing that. He was losing wild card games and being a choke artist, bro.
And he got
whoa. I remember a few years of Brett Favre getting dusted off in the wild card playoff.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Cowboys. To the Cowboys.
No, Marcus, let me have my debate.
Okay. But don't say it like that. Like he didn't lose no wild card game.
Let me say, in his first years, Brett Favre was going further in the playoffs than John Elway was in his first years. Marcus also said that he had no all pros, but guess what? He actually did have an all-pro running back before he had Shannon Sharp. John Elway had an all-pro running back, and he had an all-pro defensive player as well. I'm sitting up here looking at these stats. I'm sitting up here looking at them right now. I'm gonna let you go look it up because you were the one who said that he didn't, but he does. He actually did.
All-pro or a Pro Bowler? You know the difference between an all-pro and a Pro Bowler?
He had an All-Pro in 1986. Marcus, go look it up. I'm looking at it.
Sammy Winder.
All-Pro 1986. He did. He had All-Pro on both sides of the ball. Now, Marcus also will not mention that the Denver Broncos those years also had 5 top 5 defenses in those 7 years. You know who John Elway kind of reminded me of, but the bad version is Tom Brady, who had multiple great defenses and won 3 Super Bowls. And John Elway had great defenses and choked it up in playoffs. John Elway, by no means stretch of the imagination whatsoever, is better than Brett Favre by any metric other than he has more Super Bowls. Brett Favre's completion rating is 6%
I got one for you, Dre.
Hold on. Brett Favre's completion rating is 6% better than John Elway's. His oh my goodness, he's 20,000 yards over John Elway. John Elway literally
played 5 more years. He played 5 more years.
Don't do that, Marcus.
You don't think playing 5 more years?
Wait a minute. You want us to say that John Elway is so great? He's literally 99th in games played as a quarterback. 99th. 99. Marcus, that's damn near off the 100. That's off the top 100.
I can answer that. Part of that goes with. You
gonna make an excuse?
There was only 14 games in too. Let me also tell you this. This is when the AFC was terrible. Do you know that the AFC went 14 years without winning a Super Bowl? Marcus, the NFC won the Super Bowl from 1984 to 1998 when the Broncos finally won. That's how dominant
the NFC was. That's what that tells me. That tells me that the NFC was a harder division to play in. If that's the case, if the NFC won all those Super Bowls, right?
Yeah,
here's something else that Marcus fails to mention. How many complete seasons did John Elway actually play?
He was the only thing they had. That's why he got the hell beat out of him. He's the only thing that they had. Let me tell you something. John Elway was kind of like Cam Newton before Cam Newton. He was all that they had. He was their best rusher, their best thrower. He was a one-man. Go back and look at this guy's career.
Yes. The alphabets. I can't believe you, Marcus. Yes. Can you tell me when John Elway actually threw for over 3,500 yards?
It was a different era. It's a different era.
I'm talking about in the throwing era, sir. No.
The throwing era was not the throwing era. Look at Joe Montana's best year. Did Joe Montana ever throw for 5,000 yards?
I'm gonna ask you this question
again. Because they came out around the same time. Quarterbacks didn't. Y'all again. This is a era thing. This is an era thing.
That's fine. We can play by, wait a minute. Let's play by the eras. That's fine. You want to play by eras. That's cool. I get it. He played in a non-passers league, right? Do you want to use that lame excuse? He played in a non-passers league, and I'm going to talk about Brett Favre, who played in the actual passers league, which means that Brett Favre was more susceptible to injuries than Elway would have been. Why are you talking about all these running backs, sir? Mr. Dorsey Levens, blah, blah, blah. Just tell me once again, Marcus, when Favre ever had any players the caliber of Terrell Davis, Rod Smith, Ed McCaffrey, and Shannon Sharp. I will say this again. At any point in his career, has he ever had those players? By the way, Marcus, he didn't have Dorsey Levens for too long. He didn't have Ahman Green for too long either. And neither did he. Yes, Marcus, I'm looking right at it. Marcus.
How many years did Ahman Green play for the Packers?
4.
Okay, and how many years was Terrell Davis in his prime? Look at Terrell Davis's stats.
Terrell Davis was a beast every year he played with the doggone.
And he had 4 years.
Wait a minute.
People didn't even think that Terrell Davis should be in the Hall of Fame because his career was so brief.
And they
put him in the same category as a guy like Gale Sayers.
So you're telling me that there's a quarterback that Green Bay has had that's better than Terrell Davis? That's what you're trying to tell me?
I'm saying collectively. I'm saying collect. Ed McCaffrey wasn't no supers. Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Robert Brooks. Those
None of
weren't
them.
good.
Go look at. Hold on. Go look at Ed McCaffrey's
their-
numbers. Go look at
I
Shannon
will.
Sharp's numbers,
I
and then you
will.
tell me. Go ahead and tell me. I'll wait for it. I mean, in my
Anyway,
team,
Andre, how many years did Amon Green play in Green Bay?
Amon Green only started 4 years in Green Bay.
That's not my question. How many years did he play in Green Bay?
Well, if we gonna look by the metric of how many years.
He played 8 years in Green Bay, by the way.
Yeah, hold on. What?
Terrell
Watch
Davis,
this.
Terrell
Hold on.
Davis played 7. So
I
if you want to
said
think
he
about it, they both
started.
played around the same time. Around the exact same amount of time.
He started 4 years in Green Bay. 4 is what I said. Go look it up.
From 2000
Because
to
Dorsey Levens.
2004.
Wait a minute. Dorsey Levens. First it was Bennett. Dorsey Levens. Ryan. What was it? Ryan Grant. Well, that's after the fact, but still. Go look up Amon Green and when he started.
I'm looking at him right here. He had
Look at his
1,000
yards.
seasons, 5 years straight.
How many yards did he have, Rocco, in those years that he was with Green Bay?
All right. With Amon Green, he had over 6,000 yards.
But call out the yardage. Call out the yardage per year.
All right.
Rushing yards.
2000, he had 1,175 yards playing 16 games.
Okay.
2001, he played 16 games, had 1,387 yards. 2002, had 14 games, he got injured, had 1,240 games, 1,240.
Yeah, go ahead.
2003, played all 16 games, had 1,800.
Now that was his best season.
600 yards.
That was his best season.
2004.
That was his best season right there.
2004, he had 15 games played, 1,163 yards. 2005, he missed nearly the whole season, but had 255 yards. And then his last season, he played half the season, 8 games, 160 yards.
So he was 1,000-yard rusher when he was a 13 to 1,500 yard rusher in his prime in Green Bay. Is that a fair assessment?
Essentially, he had 5 consecutive years of 1,000 yards. And don't forget, he also was a dual threat back who could catch the ball out the backfield. By the way, Terrell Davis, he had a 4-year run where he had
a 4-year run. A 4-year run.
Okay, 4-year run. Go ahead.
And then 99, he only played 4 games. 2000, he only played 5 games.
Chop them, Rocco. Chop them numbers up. Chop them numbers up, Rocco.
Give him the best yards that he had.
No. Rocco, don't omit those numbers. Please tell him them 4-year numbers. Tell him.
1995, played 14 games, 1,117 yards.
Keep going.
1996, played all 16 games, had 1,538 yards.
Damn. Go ahead, keep going.
1997, played missed 1 game, but played 15, had 1,750 yards.
They sat him that game. I remember it. They sat
and
him.
then 1998, he played all 16 and got the 2,000 yards.
Damn.
4. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Damn.
4 phenomenal years.
So what's the difference? What's the difference? I see. Wait a minute.
Because you just said who did Brett Favre play with at a running back who was on the level of Terrell Davis?
So you saying Amon? Wait a minute. So you telling me you take Amon Green over Terrell Davis?
He had 8. He had 8. He played with you for 8 years. 8 years.
Right, and he had.
That's comparable. Yes, Terrell Davis, but don't act like Amon Green was some scrub. And then when you look at the collection of receivers,
Javon Walker on whose list? Javon Walker.
They were all. Look, was one of them as good as one person? No, but when you look at the entire, a receiving core isn't just one person. Does Green Bay have the best, even with Davante Adams, did they have the best wide receiver core, or did they just have the best wide receiver? Yeah, Davante Adams was awesome. The rest of your receivers sucked. That's why you kept losing. That's just like the Broncos. They had 2 good receivers. Brett Favre has had 13 and 1,400-yard receivers every year he
I
played.
disagree because Devontae Adams played with Jordy Nelson. So what Packers team are we talking about? Are we talking about?
I'm talking
Jordy
about
Nelson or before Jordy?
my argument is wide receiver core. Brett Favre has always, with the Green Bay Packers, had
Hold on, let me ask you this question. He's had some receivers who played their role.
Receivers.
Tom Brady had receivers that played their role too. What are we talking about?
They weren't Robert Brooks. Who was on the other side of Robert Brooks? It was Robert Brooks, and who was the other guy?
Antonio Freeman.
Freeman and Brooks? Really? Bro,
You're making it seem like Freeman and Brooks was like 1,500-yard receivers.
Hold their stats up.
Pull them up.
And here's the other thing with those Broncos teams, the late Broncos teams, not those early. See, you're going into two eras of. You're going into two eras.
Watch this.
You're going into two eras of. You're going into two eras of John Elway's career. The first
John
part of
Elway
his career.
The second half of his career.
I don't have an issue with that. They were a run first team.
Brett Favre has never. When was Brett Favre carried? I'm just waiting. You talking all this? When was Brett?
I'm
Favre
not saying he wasn't. What I'm saying is, John Elway carried those early Broncos teams and took them to the Super Bowl with nothing. With nothing.
Hold on, watch this. The year that they beat New England in the Super Bowl, who was Favre's receivers? Because I'm gonna tell you right now.
I know.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Favre won back-to-back MVPs, by the way, in 94, 95, and 96. And won AP's offensive player 1, 2, 3 years in a row. Then won MVP 2 more times. Marcus, how many years? How many times do you need to be the best player in the league in order to be better than Elway? 10? Like, I'm not understanding. Let's look at even their accolades. 11-time Pro Bowler, 3 times All Pro, 3 times AP MVP. Definitely 2 times. What the bro?
Yes, when you play 20 years do you know what? And once again, you're talking about all of those. You're talking about all of those numbers. Do you know the most yards that Joe Montana, the same era that John Elway played in? You know the most yards he ever passed for? 3,800 yards. 3,800 yards. So of course your number's gonna. And guess what? All of these these quarterbacks that are playing right now. The Patrick
Mahomes won 2 Super Bowls.
Huh?
Elway only won 2 Super Bowls.
I know that. I know that. I said he went to 3 before he won those 2.
Right, and he was 0 for 3.
Yes, he was the only thing that they had. It's just like, the people. It's just like the people. Hang on. I'm going to give you another comparison. Why do people bash? Why do they bash LeBron James? They don't bash him because those early Cleveland teams, when he was up there going against the San Antonio Spurs by himself. They don't bash him for that.
Marcus, you gotta stop saying that. Wait a minute, time out. Whoa, let me stop you right there.
Do you know why they bashed LeBron James? They bash him for when he lost to the Dallas Mavericks when he had those guys with him in Miami. They bash him for them Spurs losses too. I'm gonna tell you why they bash him. Who were the best players on his teams then?
Okay, watch this. I'm about to tell you right now.
Yeah.
The best players when he played the Spurs, I don't know if you forgot, but LeBron James lost 2 finals to the Spurs when he had the Wade, Chris Bosh, and others, if you forgot. He also lost He also lost to the Spurs when they had a 66-61 win team in Cleveland.
Drake, you're
trying to tell me that it was by
Drake,
himself.
I'm talking about the early those first championship.
I just told you he lost to the Spurs once.
Yeah,
in Cleveland. He lost twice in Miami.
Yeah, but he didn't get bashed for they didn't bash him for the ones that he lost, and that he carried those Cavs teams. And that first championship against the Spurs, he carried them by himself.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Tell me the other good player that he played with.
That's not true. That's not true.
Wait, hold on. When Larry Hughes is your second best scorer, I think you could say LeBron carried the team on his back.
Wait a minute. Time out. That's BS. Let me tell you why that's BS. Mo Williams was the wait a minute, time out. That's where you're lying at, because Mo Williams was the second best player.
No, he wasn't. Mo Williams wasn't with them in 07. In 07, when they went to the finals, Mo Williams wasn't even there.
Yeah, Mo Williams wasn't there.
No, Mo Williams wasn't there.
This the same reason.
Wait a minute. Time out. Yeah. You telling me? Wait a minute. So the 66. How many times did LeBron James go to the finals in the with Cleveland?
The first time he only went once. He only went one time.
He went the one time, right?
Oh yeah.
What year was that? Was that the 66 win team or the 61 win team?
No, that was when he went 50-32, and he had to beat Detroit, New Jersey, Washington.
Yeah. And he scored the last.
Okay, so that's after the fact. But Mo Williams was on those two teams that were 66.
You're getting beside the point, though. When you're playing against the Pistons, the Bad Boys 2 Pistons with Ben Wallace and Rip Hamilton and Chauncey Billups and Tayshaun Prince, and you're going out there and beating them single-handedly.
Marcus, let me just tell you this real quick.
No.
I need to put this out there for you.
Okay.
You're acting like those guys, all four of those guys were great at what they did role player wise. None of them for a career scored more than Scottie Pippen average wise. So where we sitting up here, no, let me finish.
Yeah.
Where you sitting up here telling me, telling me right now that LeBron James all by himself.
Yes.
No, he didn't, man. You got to stop doing that.
I'm gonna give you another guy who carried the team. I'm gonna give you another guy who carried the team by himself, and he got smashed, but no one really said anything bad about it. Allen Iverson against the Lakers. He got destroyed. He got destroyed. He's out there by himself. He's out there practicing. Theo Radcliffe.
Go look at his stats. Go look at LeBron. Wait a minute. Watch this. This. Go look at LeBron's stats from those early runs to LeBron's stats now.
Yeah.
And tell me, once again, would you say that LeBron James carried it all by himself? Because I'm going to tell you, as somebody who played basketball, there is more to basketball than just putting it in the hoop. Do you not also realize that LeBron James had one of the best defensive teams as well on his side? Do you know that he also had one of the best rebounding teams at the time as well? Do you not also understand that?
It was one superstar.
Everybody.
Dre. It was one superstar versus three superstars. That's why he kept getting his ass.
Wait a minute, superstars? Wait a minute, whoa.
Why did he?
Whose metric is Ben Wallace a superstar?
It wasn't just. I'm not just talking about.
John Prince is a superstar.
I'm talking about the Celtics.
Rip Hamilton was a superstar.
I'm talking about the Celtics.
Jordan Phillips may not even be considered a superstar.
They were really. You got one. Okay, you got one superstar versus a bunch of against four stars. One superstar versus four stars.
You talked about the Spurs. Tony Parker is not a superstar.
Yes, he was.
Wait, listen. What? Tony Parker is a superstar?
Hang on. Manu, they were called the Big Dre. They were called the Big Three. The Spurs, they were called the Big Three. Manu Ginobili.
You mean
Tim
when
Duncan,
David Robinson was there?
No. Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan.
Sir,
Look them up, bro.
Manu
Bro,
Ginobili-
now you're really not helping yourself right now.
No, you're not helping yourself. You trying to tell me Manu Ginobili was a superstar?
Manu Ginobili was an awesome player. He was awesome. You look at him.
Hold on. Let me ask this question. Hey, Marcus.
Yes.
What?
If you had a guy in the NBA Finals average 48 minutes a night, had 36 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, is that not carrying the team on your back?
How many points?
36, 6, and 4.
Yeah, I would say.
I'm just saying, like, he was
offensively.
Who was the next best? Who was the second leading scorer on those teams?
Wait, in finals or just overall?
Just over. It was like the point guard, Delonte West. I mean, these are the guys he was playing with, carrying these
so
teams.
Larry Hughes was averaging 15 points. Ilgauskas was averaging 12, and Drew Gooden was averaging 11.
It was
okay. Now watch this. Can I ask you this question?
Yeah. Now
all
pull up
3 of them that he just named.
Yeah.
Definitely lock up on the defensive end. All 3 of them. A matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you how real it is with Ilgauskas. Michael Jordan wish he had Ilgauskas. Do you know Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan, if he had Ilgauskas, would have won 8. Let's be clear. Let's stop playing games right now. While we sitting up here trying to front like Ilgauskas was nobody, like we trying to sit up here in front that Drew Gooden wasn't one of the better role players when all this was taking place. Like they didn't have a defensive front. In today's game, which LeBron is a part of, you better have at least 2 all-stars on your team. At least 2. And all I can tell you is that there's
if not, you tell me another one. You tell me another team in the past 15 years that did have at least 2.
And wait a minute, Rocco, sir, you said that he averaged 36, 6, and 4, correct?
That's what I'm looking at right here.
And how many shots did LeBron take in those series? And how many? Wait a minute, stop. Y'all keep doing that. LeBron, you acting like LeBron didn't have a team. Yo, stop that crap.
He did.
Wanting to take over, wanting to do that, and needing to is 2 different things. I'm gonna be very honest.
When have we ever seen LeBron be a willing scorer where he just goes out and puts up the ball?
Hey,
hang on. How would you describe LeBron James' game? What is
pass
like?
First.
He's a pass first guy. Yeah. When LeBron James has to go out
not
and
in the
score
beginning,
30,
he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. No, Marcus, stop the cap right now.
Let me say this real quick. The reason why LeBron started to get hate is because the other Spurs series, he only averaged 22 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. That was the series that everyone started dogging him for because, like, he didn't put up insane amount of points. That was the one series.
So let me tell you this, Marcus. In the beginning of LeBron James' career, he was not a pass first player. Stop that cap right now.
I know. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying.
I was about to say.
I'm agreeing with you. LeBron James for LeBron James to get out of character and start just launching up scores because he's like, if I don't score points, we get blown out. We get blown off the court because these other guys are scrubs. I'm basically out. He would go to the bench for 3 minutes and they would be down by. He would go to the bench for 3 minutes and he would come back and they'd be down by 20.
Marcus, can I say something?
He couldn't even take a break. And that's the same thing John Elway did early in his career.
Can I say this real quick? Marcus, 66 and 61 wins respectively does not say that.
The weak ass. In the weak ass Eastern Conference.
No, this was before the East was weak, sir. I'm not talking about when he went to Miami in the East got weak. I'm talking about before the East.
I said he was winning like 50. What did you say? 57 and 30, Rocco? 52 and 30 or something like that?
All right. So the 2 years before that season that Andre keeps talking about, 07, when he went to the finals, he went 50 and 32.
Yep. How many games did he play?
How many games did LeBron play that entire season?
Yeah.
78.
So he missed
4 games.
He missed
And
4
then
games.
in
Okay.
08, they went 45 and 37, and that's when Boston humiliated LeBron.
Yeah, because he's out there against 3 all-stars.
Okay, now Boston is different. Yes, Boston is different.
Boston.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this: Boston changed his whole perspective of how he played.
You know who else played? You know who else
Because he
played?
lost to Boston in two years straight. He lost to
You
the
know who?
Celtics.
You know who else beat the? You know who else beat the piss out of them? The Pistons. The Pistons did the same thing. You're forgetting this is the Piston team that ended the Lakers dynasty. Do you remember that?
Listen, I'm not pissed. I don't forget that, Marcus. You want to know why they ended it? Wait a minute, Marcus. You're alluding to my point though. Yeah. My point is that there's different spectrums of the game of basketball. The reason why Detroit ended that dynasty is on the defensive end, sir. I'm trying to tell you.
Physical. Yeah, they were physical.
Kobe Bryant wasn't the only player when they ended that dynasty either. I'm telling you right now that there's more spectrums than one when it comes to basketball.
I got you that, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm making to you is when you're one player, Allen Iverson, LeBron James, and you're out there and you're going against a team with more firepower than you.
Marcus, how do you win? How do you win against teams like that? You have to play some type of defense in order to beat teams with more firepower than you. Correct?
Yes, but when you're
so then now what? Let me ask this next question, Marcus. Tell me when LeBron James in his first couple of seasons was an all defensive anything, because LeBron James' best defensive years was in Miami, sir.
Yeah, he was worn out because he
Marcus, wait a minute. I gotta bring this up right now because before you try to be slick. Marcus, how is he worn out yet? After those 8 years, you go to Miami and you end up.
Okay, I got you. Okay, are you ready? You ready? I'm going to answer it for you. When you're in Cleveland and you have to expend all of your energy scoring points, you start to slack on the defensive side of the ball. Hang on. So when you go to Miami and you have 2 other scorers like Chris Bosh, like Mario Chalmers, like Dwayne Wade, and you don't have to expend all of your energy playing offense because your other teammates suck. You can be better on defense. Yes, you're making my point exactly for me.
No, that's very cute.
No, that's what it is.
Watch this. That's very cute because if that's the case, Marcus, right, that he had to expend on the offensive end, right? Spending offense.
Yeah.
How come? So let me read this to you before you go mad.
Okay.
He averaged in Cleveland 20.9, 27.2, 27.3, 28.4. Right.
Yes.
He had a 30 season, right?
Yes.
How come he scored the exact same in Miami then? 27, 27, 20, 27. He averaged 27 every year he was in Miami.
Because he could play his game. He didn't have to just be out there and be a scorer. How many points was Dwayne Wade averaging? Who was his second leading scorer? Now, we just said Larry Hughes, when he was with Miami, was his second leading scorer at 15 points a game. Who was his second leading scorer with the Miami Heat?
You tell me. Was it Bosh or was it Wade?
I bet you they were 2 and 3. Because I bet you Dwayne Wade was number 2, probably around 23 to 25 points a game, and Bosh was probably about 18.
Actually, Bosh was number 2 of those years. But go ahead.
Okay. So do you see what I'm saying? When you got 2 other guys that can put up 20 plus points per game, and you don't have to sit up there and play top-notch lockdown defense and score 30 points a game, it increases your efficiency. That's what I'm saying. The same thing.
Watch this. Yeah. By no metric, by no metric from what I'm looking at,
Yes.
did he play any stats wise? Did he play any different defensively?
Guys here was the other thing too. You had guys like Udonis Haslem who were the defensive lockup guys, which freed up LeBron James to go and score.
Can I just tell you this? I tell you this, Marcus, LeBron James has carried more Lakers teams. If we're going to be very legitimately honest, Marcus, he's carried the Lakers in the time he's been in the Lakers, playing however many games he done played.
Yeah.
When I look at the metrics that say 30-7, 20, 10-8, that's you want to talk about carrying. I mean, you're not only carrying at a point guard level, you're carrying as far as scoring, rebounding. His numbers are like high as hell from 20.
Let me ask this question real quick.
Okay.
So LeBron James, he's been a 6-time All-Defensive Team, but it was 6 consecutive years. It was from 2009 to 2014.
Okay.
6 years straight.
Thank you. What years was those, Rocco? Go ahead.
Last year in Cleveland.
Yep.
And then it's 5 years in Miami.
Thank you.
All right. However, who did you say his second scorer was?
His second scorer was Bosh one of them years, and Wade.
Okay, because 2011 was Dwayne Wade with 25 points.
Correct.
2012 was Dwayne Wade with 22 points. 2013 was
Bosh.
Dwayne Wade with 21 points. 2014, which was his last year there, was Dwayne Wade with 19 points.
Okay, so Bosh was, but what was Bosh's numbers? Was it close? Real close?
He was averaging like the high teens, but he never broke the 20s.
Okay, so he was averaging high 19.
But you got 3 guys. It wasn't just those 2. I bet you whoever the third guy was like high teens also.
No, that is 3. LeBron James, Bosh, and Wade. I'm sorry if I'm wrong for that. I said Bosh was one of them. Okay, so it was Wade every year, but Wade started to decline as well.
Yeah, and you also had guys like Ray Allen out there bombing away. You got guys like, and then and once again, when you got a Shane Battier,
the Birdman, and all the rest of them.
Yes, when you don't have to expend all of your energy. And you got other guys who can put up points, and it's like, hey, they didn't put Michael Jordan on the even the Bulls when they were in their heyday. Michael Jordan didn't cover the other team's best player. They would make Scottie Pippen do that, or they would have Dennis Rodman go, pinch Alonzo Mourning on the ass and harass him.
Oh, stop that now! Michael definitely could strap up with the best.
He could, but what I'm saying, he didn't have to. They had other guys. When you got 3 guys that are 6'6" and above. I think Ron Harper was 6'6", Michael Jordan was 6'6", and Scottie Pippen 6'7", and you could interchange them. They would put sometimes Ron Harper on a small forward. They would put the
whole reason why I think Golden State would beat them, but
in the games against the Utah Jazz, they put Scottie Pippen on John Stockton. And they would run a full court. They would run full court press with Scottie Pippen.
Well, here's the problem with that. Yeah, that wasn't Michael's job. Wasn't to guard Stockton. Stockton was a point guard. Michael was a shooting. So Michael's job was to guard. What's his name?
I got you that, but Scottie Pippen was a small forward.
Russell.
Scottie Pippen was a small forward, taking away their point guard.
Absolutely, you want to know why? Because Stockton was super fast and elusive.
Because his length, and when they were running the pick and roll, you got this long body. Trying to dunk in the car.
You needed that because the pick and roll between him and Malone was just fierce.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So a lot of Michael Jordan didn't have to chase around John Stockton the whole game. They had Scotty do that.
You wasn't gonna have him doing that neither.
Yes,
You gonna have him doing that. That doesn't make sense.
I can't believe we just talked basketball.
Yo, yes, we did. Yo,
We
segue right from football into basketball, and you know the NBA Finals is coming up in like 2 seconds. Matter of fact, it's probably on right now.
We're about to get out of here, man. I love it, man. I think this is the most we ever talked about basketball. I'm over here debating basketball with the toy.
Debates in basketball from football talk. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you got to have fun with it here and there. By the way, it is on right now. I got it here. NBA Finals on right now. As you can see, they're about to get at it.
Good to know.
I can't wait because I think Golden State is leading already. And I can't wait for Game 5 and the Golden State Warriors to win. By the way, make predictions real quick. Boston or Golden State, y'all.
Nice try, buddy. Ain't going to happen.
Golden State.
Golden State.
By the way, let me ask this real quick. And Andre, you know I don't like to gloat. You know me.
Yeah.
But who was the guy who went on your show last week and said it was going to be Warriors in 5 guaranteed? It was going to be Warriors in 5?
Ooh.
Who was that guy? Because whoever that was, you're guaranteed. You should have not taken it to the casino. I hope you didn't take it to the bank. I hope you didn't put up your house. I hope you didn't put up your mortgage because you are 100% wrong. It wasn't the Warriors at 5. So next time, don't say the word guaranteed. Don't say guaranteed.
I know I said.
Who said that?
I don't know. Last week when I was on your show, there was this guy. He didn't have a profile, so I don't know what he looked like. But he was just like Warriors in 5.
I think it's about Terrell Harris. I think that's what you're.
Terrell, yeah. I said Warriors in 6. I was about to say, I know I ain't say 5. I said 6.
Yeah,
me and Mookie were arguing that last week.
Yeah, it was somebody, but it was just like, dude,
well,
don't
guess what? Right now, early, I tell you what, early, Golden State look like the team more aggressive right now. Right now, they look more aggressive as I'm watching it. Y'all can see it right here. You see it, what the score is early. It's too early, but we'll see.
Hey, people don't need to celebrate early. It's way too early. You got to wait till the game's
Yeah, way too early to celebrate, but I will tell you what, Golden State done came out early looking like the aggressor. So we'll see. We'll see. By the way, this has been a whole lot of fun. Damn near 2 hours, and we didn't even get through. We didn't get through a lot of the stuff that we had for y'all. But guess what? That means we can save it for next week.
I always say
me
for
and
next week.
the Alphabets, we had a great debate earlier before the show. And what I'm gonna do is, y'all, I'm gonna try my best. How about this? I'll put it out there. See, I'm a person who can listen, even though I don't agree sometimes. I will try my best to put the slides or topics up on Facebook before the show, at least a day. I'm going to try to, even though you see how the show was today, without, I tell you, sometimes we don't need preparation. And you don't even need preparation H. Okay? Preparation, you don't need preparation. All right? Just say it. For that, I tell you what, this was a good show. Golden State's up 11 right now, 17-6.
So
with that being said, Jay Andre, get with me, buddy. We gotta talk. We got wrestling. We got some wrestling stuff. Dalton, get up with me.
Yes, sir.
Rocco,
yes, sir.
Get up with me. Marcus, we got another show coming. We got another show coming up real soon. We got some talking.
Yeah, we about to ban. The NBA's about to be over, man. We're about to ban. Training camp starts next month.
Absolutely.
Training camp starts next month. We got about 5 weeks. We got about 5 weeks until NFL training camp start. So
yeah. All right. With that being said, I will see y'all. I'll be on the radio again, 10 o'clock. Make sure y'all tune in. Listen to Mookie Hawkins try to give me some nonsense on how and why Boston gonna somehow win this game tonight, because he already guaranteed it on Facebook. Mr. Boston's winning tonight, and I can't wait. And I can't wait till they lose, because as soon as they lose, I'm just gonna say Mookie, I told you so. I said wait for it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say I said wait for it.
You sure
And
that's
all
it?
to it. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all
Sure
I'm gonna
that's
say.
it?
Yeah, that's it. I promise you. Jay Andre,
Yes,
get at me, bro. Right after
I
the
got
show.
you.
Get at me.
I got
All
you.
right. See y'all later. Marcus,
See,
another one of the books, player.
let's go.